Okay, here we are with someone very special. I don't know what number we're up to now. This might be number 6 or 7. You can go on the channel and find out for yourself. But I've got one of my favourite people in the Tees Valley here with me. I've nearly had you there.
No.
And we've got a lot of great insight coming from you. So please introduce yourself.
Just let you know, he does say that to everybody. Yeah, I'm Bill Scott. I'm CEO of WILTON Engineering. Been working here at the business since 1994, and really interested to see what questions Steve's got for me.
Yeah. Okay. So we'll start easy. I think right in your wheelhouse since we're here in the building. How did you get started with this business?
Oh,
And what do you do? Tell everyone what you do
all
as
right.
well.
So we're basically we're an engineering company, and to make it really quite simple and straightforward, we build very large, complicated structures for the oil and gas and wind energy industries.
Yeah.
So I started as an apprentice, 16 years old. Didn't know what I wanted to do, and I was I think I wanted to be a chef, and I ended up being going into steel fabrication. Didn't like metalwork at school, hated it.
Okay.
Actually, I ended up doing metalwork for my career,
Yeah.
which is a bit bizarre. But went along as an apprentice. Loved it the first day I started, and after that, just got worked hard. I call it the head down, ass up.
Yeah.
Worked hard, just got better, quicker, faster, smarter, and got to a point where I was headhunted once, twice, 3 times in my career,
Fantastic.
and then decided to look in the mirror one day and do it for myself.
Yeah.
So picked the partner, Steve, and who's still with me, and he was chosen because he was hardworking and honest.
Right.
That's the only two qualities I wanted from him, and well, he's good at his job, and we were very successful.
Wow. I've heard a lot about him, but I've never actually met him. Did
Yeah.
you work with him?
Yeah. I worked with him, and I'd worked with him previously, and seen his qualities, and yeah, just he was a man for me.
Wow.
So we're still working together. 24 years on, 25 years next year.
Wow.
Yeah, so yeah, it's been a really interesting, enjoyable experience.
That's cool. I think the thing that stands out for me when I first came here, when I first met you, the scale of this business and keeping it going at this scale, this many employees, this turnover, all that kind of thing for so long. You've been, what is it, at least twice you've been the fastest growing business in the Tees Valley.
Yeah, we were the fastest. No, we were the fastest growing company in the northeast of England, in consecutive years, 2011 and 2012,
Unbelievable.
which has never been done before, and I'm not sure if it'll
Never
ever be
been
done
done
again.
since? Yeah.
Yeah.
That's pretty impressive, to be honest.
Yeah.
So, all right, I'm gonna try and get there's 3 or 4 things that came straight out there, but I'm gonna go straight for the hard work thing first of all, because I know you've told me a bit about your background and how that came about.
Yeah.
What do you think that did for you, particularly in terms of getting headhunted to go to different jobs? How big a thing of it? Where would you put the value? You've got to have the technical ability. You've got
Yes.
to actually be good.
Yes.
But what about having the right attitude, being hardworking, all those kind of things?
I think when I look back, I am a competitive person, and I am a very hard working person.
Yeah.
And being a young kid at 16, how do you put yourself out there? How do you grow as a person? How do you get better and get better jobs? And all I did, I worked hard. I used to work as an apprentice's mate almost. So like I used to work with the tradesmen.
Yeah.
So what I did, I used to think about what do they need next. So I was watching the person
Yeah.
working. So I'd be thinking, what he's going to do next, he's going to need a spirit level to see if that thing's level.
Yeah.
So I would watch him like looking for a spirit level. Then I would learn he's going to need his spirit level. And the next, when he turned on for his spirit level, it was in my hand, and I handed it him. And then he needed his chalk line, then he needed this, and he needed that drawing. And the next thing I was making things, and I was handing them off, So, and then I learned to weld really young. So I learned that being able to weld was what we call tacking.
Yeah.
And tacking is something where he's holding something up, trying to keep it level with his level, and he would normally try and tack it himself. well, I'd be there attacking. So I was in of use, and that's the difference.
I
So
was
if
kinda gonna get
you're of
there.
use to them, then then you're the best mate.
So you're making yourself valuable.
Make yourself valuable, and
Quick.
then quick, and then you get quicker and better and smarter.
Yeah.
And I think I went all through my career like that. But I was at 18 years old. I was told by the owner of the business that he wanted me to be the managing director of that business,
Wow.
and he did. I mean, it's
How old? Sorry.
18.
I thought you said 18. I was
18,
just double
yeah.
checking.
No, 18, yeah. So 18 years old. It's a long story, but I'll try and make it very quickly.
Yeah.
Came to see me. I want this job doing. Went out with him. Went to a factory. I took all my kits, my overalls and all stuff, and my tape measure and everything else, a book and a pen and everything to draw this thing. He wanted me to measure the job. He wanted me to work out how long it was going to take, work out the materials, manufacture it, and then install it. Right, that's what he wanted me to do. So on the way there, he stopped off and he basically bought me some Coke and a Mars bar.
Yeah.
I didn't have any money to buy it. I didn't have a pound or anything in my pocket. It's probably 2 and 6 then. but anyway, he went into to pay for it. I came in with him, and he put his hand in his pocket. And when he tried to pull his hand out of his pocket, he couldn't, because he had a big roll of money inside it. £20, £50 notes, way back in 1977,
Yeah.
I think it was, 78, 79 that time. And when he pulled his wedge of money out, he had my salary in his pocket, a year's salary in his pocket. And what's all that about? He said, "You work hard, son, you'll get one of these."
Yeah.
So I thought, phew.
Yeah. That's it.
Let's go for it.
That's it.
And he I did the job. When he came out, he said to me, "You will be my managing director one day." But then I was 22 and I got headhunted. And you often wonder how that happens, but I think it's a situation where you work hard, and other people do recognise that you're working hard, and you stand out from the crowd, So and that's what happened. So I got headhunted, and when I went for the interview, I asked them what they wanted from me. I was only 22, and basically. I identified something in the interview that they'd completely missed. They were looking to go into new industry, oil and gas. I was in the oil and gas industry. They wanted to build, production, manufacturing type equipment, which I'd done before, but they hadn't. They're totally brand new to them. That's why they wanted to get somebody in.
Yeah.
And I uncovered they'd made a big mistake in their estimate at the interview stage. Got offered the job there and then, and
to fix the problem, presumably.
Started with that company, fixed the problem, then got headhunted again, and I went there. How big do you want to grow the company? And then got headhunted again, and then that's when I started on my own company.
And you decided, I'm not going to bounce like this forever. Had you got to? Because I often say this.
I was 34.
Had you got to a level, and where could you have gone? If it wasn't starting your own company, would you have made more money?
I'd have been. I think I was the last time I was headhunted out, I was works manager. So after that, then then there's the only thing you can do after that is become a director of a company.
Yeah.
And then obviously an owner type thing, and
so you kind of reached the pinnacle to an extent. Early.
Yeah, I very, very early. Yeah.
So what else is there left for you to do?
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah. So
and
I was
then
34, and yeah.
So it's probably your mentality at that point. Some people don't necessarily want the challenge. Some people stay in that job forever. I think of friends I've got and people that I know who are staying in a job for their entire career so they can get their pension at the end.
I see. Not.
It's not for me.
It's not even in my thoughts.
It's not for me. And I don't begrudge anyone that. If that's what makes them happy and that's what they want to do, then fine, do that. And there might be people watching this that feel that way. But for me, and certainly for you, you want to be challenged. So opening this, and I know the story, and it'll take 3 days to get the whole story up, but how you came about this facility, that's a challenge. That's a risk.
Yeah.
There's a whole load of self-belief in there as well.
I mean, you know, we grew the business very, very quickly.
Yeah.
And within 4 years, we couldn't find anybody that was big enough to paint the stuff that we were manufacturing.
No
So
way.
we had to make our own painting company. Then the following year, we started a marine company, and then probably 4 years later, we bought a company, and then took private equity in. And then before that, we bought this facility, and this facility is a shipyard. I mean, it was a shipyard, or it was an offshore module yard. From here, I think something like 300,000 tons of offshore modules left this yard.
No way.
One of the biggest in the UK.
Is it?
And I'd chance meeting, chance phone call off my accountant at the time. And and within one day, I'd arranged the meeting of the person who owned the business.
Yeah.
And within 20 minutes, 30 minutes, handshake.
Yeah.
Done.
Yeah. I remember the story.
Yeah.
And I know
done.
you might not want to go into the specifics right here, but
yeah,
in terms of the risk you took to take this place,
massive risk, yeah.
big.
Big risk, yeah.
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 And some people might think that maybe wasn't smart. Maybe
a
it
lot of
wasn't the
people-
most calculated thing in the
a lot
world.
of people say that. A lot of people say it wasn't a smart risk. You jumped into something. What they didn't realise is when I'd bought it, I shook this person's hand. I then drove back from Newcastle into Teesside. Apart from when I got to Newcastle, there was a funny smell in the car, and I was like thinking, what on earth have I done? I drove straight to the council,
Yeah.
found out how much the rates were. I phoned a friend who was in the property industry, to find out how much it was worth, a valuation on it.
Yeah.
The valuation that he gave me, I had stored up here. So when I didn't actually know, I'd shook hands to buy it, but I didn't even actually know how much it was.
No. Or what it was worth.
Or what it was worth, no. So when the price, 2 weeks later, when I found out what the price was, I'd done a lot of due diligence. You know what I mean? So I knew
You actually knew you were on the upside.
exactly what it was worth, and so it was the right deal to do.
Yeah. And you would have done it differently otherwise, I suppose.
Yeah, well, it's just the way it rolled at the time. It just I had to just roll with it. You know
It
what I
worked
mean?
out nice.
Yeah.
And you were in that place, and I understand that the risks behind it, but I just want to talk about that kind of self-belief element first. It's something it always comes up with the groups that we work with in the charity, but I think the thing it stood out the most to me in the last, say, 6 weeks, because I've been in and around a school, in particular with a group, and a couple of them hopefully are watching, and I've been trying to give them more self-belief.
Yeah.
And one of them, I won't shout him out, but he will be watching. I know who he is, and he knows I'm talking about him. He's gone and emailed every games development company in Teesside, probably in the north of England, to beg for work experience, because he understands the value of going and doing work experience while he's still in school.
Right.
And what that'll do for his
How old
career.
will he be?
He's either 14 or 15, I guess. He's year 10.
Yes.
Yeah. So that's awesome, and I'm pleased we've got that. And
Has he got a place?
I think so. I'm
Okay.
I'm a bit in the dark about it, so I'll find out hopefully in a couple of weeks.
I do know two people who produce probably the biggest gaming, successful gaming thing in the northeast.
Oh, no way.
And then sold the company for multi-millions.
Okay, I know who you're talking about.
Yeah, so might be the hell.
That's interesting. Well, he might even.
Wait.
Well, he got my email. He found my email somewhere, and
Oh,
he
right,
emails
yeah,
me, so
yeah.
he'll find yours now. That's the problem.
Good.
So it's about that self belief, and it's something that I credit to my mum and dad a lot. And I think you've met them both. I think at some
Met them
some
both.
stage.
Yeah, lovely people. Yeah.
There's never a time I think I can't do something.
No.
Ever.
No.
I understand, and I combine that with being self-aware. We've been talking about things that, just before this started, the things that I know I'm weak at, and that I have to work more at. Admin, for example. I don't know what you're like with admin. I'm a disaster.
Right.
I have to work real hard to get admin right. And I always had people that did it for me, and I don't now, and it's different. But I never think I can't do anything.
No.
Do you?
No.
Like...
No, there's nothing I can't do.
And no, that's it. That's it. And like
I would never go out.
and I believe it, because I've seen you riding a bike with one hand, and I've seen all your hip, all that stuff that was on social media. That's great, but it didn't really trigger for me until I started meeting young people at scale.
Yeah.
How little self-belief there is in certain pockets. Some of it's driven by maybe some values around families. Maybe it's you don't want to go to uni because no one else has done it. You need to go and get a job and do this, and they get pigeonholed. And it doesn't always happen, but I just think that hearing people like you and like me and the other people that we've interviewed on the show, the other people that we're going to interview on the show, they just need to see what you believe about yourself.
I think the thing is that, you know, one of my favourite sayings is, you don't know what you don't know.
Yeah.
You know, and then if you listen to much people, you can learn.
Yeah.
And, you know, the difficulty is there's all sorts of different social backgrounds, different types of parenting. You know, we're in a different era now where, you know, a lot of people, they're not married for very long, and they you know, the fathers have left them or whatever. You know, all those difficulties that people face now. That it wasn't so much about when I was younger. I was a kid, and so they've all those difficulties overcome as well. But the thing is, if they listen and watch and learn, then they can get through it. And I know people from really difficult backgrounds. You know, one guy who was brought up in Port Clarence, and he'd be in his 70s now. So going back then in the day, you know, it would have been a really tough thing for him. But he actually left Port Clarence, and he was telling me, you know, the shoes and all sorts of things back in the day then. But he grew to be a managing director of a huge company. Yeah. Huge company.
Awesome.
You know, and he comes back with me. So when we do Christmas and the Clarences, he comes along and he's in there. And he's, you know, and he's doing his carol songs and all that. Carol singing and that. It's brilliant. You know. So
man, it's huge.
You
know. And I just want everyone else to at least see it, even if they can't get themselves there right now, especially if they're the younger end of this kind of 13 to 25.
Yeah.
Is just to see it. And I think the thing that stands out for me, I've said a few times in schools, is if you've got a voice in your head that says you can't do something, fundamentally, that I don't believe that's your voice. Yeah. That's someone else's opinion that's been put in your mind, and you've took it as a value and you believe it. But I don't think anyone on this planet, if you got really down to the core, no one believes that they've got limitations about themselves. It's the things that get put on top. And I think they need...
It's those layers and watching other people. And I mean, I've always been an extremely positive person, always positive. My glass is completely full.
Right.
Not half full or half
empty.
See,
that's kind of weird.
Completely, you know, positive.
Okay.
But I've seen negative people, and you know, I mean, I work with negative people now. You know, everything's a problem. Oh, it's me. That's never going to happen. Oh, damn. You know, but I'm not. I'm fortunately not like that.
Is that your default setting though?
That's my default setting.
So do you see me as a negative person?
No. I don't see. No.
Because I think my default setting's quite dark.
Yeah.
But I choose and spend a lot of time trying to be positive and being positive. I'm very good at it now.
Yeah.
But I think your default setting is positive, mine isn't.
Yeah, well, yeah. And the important thing is to understand what your default position is.
Yeah.
Because everybody's different. That's the whole thing about life. Everybody's different. We talked earlier on, didn't we, before this video, that if, you know, like for me, what do I want from people, employees, if you like? You know, I think that I understand everybody's different. And everybody works at different rates. Everybody works at different times and speeds and everything else. And you know that I did you about the tortoise and the hare.
Yeah.
You have somebody who's slow but meticulous. Somebody who's fast and it looks brilliant but makes loads of mistakes, costs you a fortune.
Yeah.
But what you got to do in the round when you employ a lot of people is that they are all different. And all I ask for anybody is to do the best that they can.
Yeah.
You know, if they're doing the best that they can, then you can't ask anymore.
Yeah.
That's it. That's all you can ask someone to do. And that the funny thing is, every single person knows if they're trying their best or not.
Yeah. Yeah, you know when you're not giving 100%.
Oh, you know when you're not giving 100%, don't you?
Yeah, that's it. And it's not always about like, I know people, they see. I know a lot of people that will watch this. A lot of people that I encounter know what time I get up a lot of the time. They might not know what time you get up, but often you're up before I'm up. I remember once I sent you an email thinking I was up earlier than you, and you
Yeah.
sent me
So,
an email that you sent to someone else an hour before,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
highlighted the time,
Yeah,
which is funny. But
yeah.
it's not just about that.
It's not about that.
Because-
That's just the way I am.
Yeah.
I don't sleep a lot, you know, and I don't sleep a lot that I worry about anything. It's just the way I'm made.
Just the way you are. I'm the
so
same.
the way I'm made, and so I get up early, I go to bed late,
Yeah.
and so I don't sleep. I don't need the sleep, thankfully. But and it's not about coming to work and showing how good I am. And I'm not about me. I'm about, you know, if anybody else
Yeah.
was listening, watching this,
Mm.
and you know, by going to work, I'm going to work, you know, 17 hours a day because the boss will think I'm brilliant.
Yeah.
You know, the boss will think you're brilliant if you're doing your best. That's
Yeah.
what the boss will think.
For 4 hours a day.
For 4 hours a day. If you
That's it.
can do in 4 hours what anybody else can take 17, then you're on a win.
That's it. That's
Yeah.
it. I want to talk about women. Is that all right?
Well, yeah, I'm a big girl fan, I'm a massive girl power fan. Yeah.
I am. And actually, I knew that, but I didn't know how much until I read something recently that
Yeah.
you said about every business should have a female on their board.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
100%.
And me and a business partner have had this conversation. We think that both share an opinion that not in a sexist way, but men are good at some things and women are good at other things.
Yeah.
And generally speaking, forgetting gender or anything like that, everyone should be playing to their strengths all the time and not
Yes.
trying to round themselves out. So I don't
Yeah,
try and
perfect,
I
yeah.
don't try and get better at admin.
Yes.
I try and get better at the things I'm already good at,
Yes.
and find people who are already good at the admin.
Yes.
Yeah.
Good.
So, with that in mind, what we're trying to achieve, in a micro format within the charity and with some of this content, is trying to give young girls in Teesside something to or some people and some industries and some work to aspire to. I think we lack a little bit of it, to an extent.
Yeah.
There's a lot of old money. There's a lot of white guys running businesses, and that's not a bad thing because it makes the world go around. And without the white guys that run businesses, we wouldn't have the Tees Valley and the industries that we've got. But we want to try and get some more, and it's about Gary Lumby said it really, really well, and I agree with him. It's not like doing what Norway are doing. Legislation, 50% of boards have to be female by 2025 or whatever.
No.
It's meritocracy.
Right. So I think So my view on all of this, it doesn't matter if you're white, black, or any other creed. Well, it doesn't matter whether you're a man or a woman.
No.
It has no bearing.
Whether you
on
like
me.
boys, girls,
Boys, girls,
just no difference.
no difference. Nothing whatsoever.
Yeah.
It's all about, are you good enough for the job? Right.
Yes.
And the thing with a woman is they wouldn't want you to do anything special for them. So you know, we have a lady who's our finance director, and she's got that job because she's the best at what she does. That's
Yeah.
why she got the job.
Yeah.
Not because she's the woman.
Yeah.
And I think we should have, you know, we need
Yeah.
to increase our input of women.
Yeah.
No, it's just she's got the job because she's the best. And if she thought she was here because, you know, I needed to prove to the world I've got a woman finance director, that's just not
Yeah.
on the cards.
It's not good for you.
Not
It's
good
not
for
good for
me.
the business. And it's
It's
not good for her either.
No, and so when I say I'm a massive supporter of girl power, I don't mean that in a derogative way. I mean that is I appreciate women who are good at what they do.
Yeah.
And there's some amazing women in Tees Valley. Some amazing women.
And we're seeing we work with a lot of young girls every year, and the things that they want to do. When I ask them, you've seen that I ask everyone to write these 3 lists at the start of every program that we do.
Yeah.
And no disrespect to the guys or the girls, the guys always want to join a bricklayer welder.
Yeah.
Because their Uncle Kenny did it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. And
Not
the girls,
normal. Yeah.
the girls always want to be an admin apprentice, a nurse, or work in a care home.
Yeah.
Or have a baby. And there's nothing wrong with any of them either. You can make
No.
good money doing all that stuff. Like I always say, I use you as an example when they say join a bricklayer welder. I say, look what you've done.
Yes.
And I know you're gonna say what you always say. I'm not a welder. I'm a plater.
Plater.
But as far as this story's concerned, you just didn't stop there. That was your trade, but that wasn't the end of.
No, that was the beginning.
Exactly.
That was the beginning. And the other thing is life's changed and the world's changed. So, you know, many years ago you would take a trade or a job, and you would have to think long and hard what you want to do, because you're probably going to be in it, doing it for the rest of your life.
Forever, yeah.
So, and I think my father my grandfather, my great grandfather. You know, when they started work as a something, and a chipper or a corker or whatever,
Yeah.
and then when they died, they were a chipper or a corker.
Yeah.
They did the same thing for the whole life,
Yeah.
and so they had to pick something that they like doing and enjoy doing. Whereas nowadays, actually, you can
bounce.
see bounce. You bounce off what you know. You move around and do
Yes.
something different.
Yes. So that's what we're trying to say to the
Yeah.
girls. There's nothing wrong with being an admin apprentice. There's nothing wrong with having a baby at 8. Or what, like, I'm not going to get into that. That's being too specific. There's nothing wrong with going and having a baby. There's nothing wrong with wanting to start a family. But there's so many more alternatives now than there was maybe when their mum was job seeking. You know, the generation before.
Yeah.
And we want them to see that you'd employ a. Do you employ a female?
We had female welders.
Yeah, I thought you did.
Female apprentice welders.
And the girl who she took us around on a visit, health and safety.
Yeah, she was a. We took her on. She was a. So her sort of beginning was admin.
Yeah.
So she started off and she was Polish actually.
Yeah.
I remember. Yeah.
Yeah.
So she started off in Poland doing admin. She came across to England, and then she got into health and safety, and then when she was here, she started doing some HR work for us.
Yeah.
So so you can morph across from one job to another. So you don't have to think, I'm stuck in. And if what would I say if you said to me, what's the biggest advice you could give somebody? The biggest advice I would give is if you don't like what you're doing in a job, look for something else.
Yeah,
bounce something to somewhere where you're happy, because throwing those bed covers back in the morning, think, oh my God, I've got to go there tomorrow. Don't think about going there to earn money. Earning money is a byproduct of enjoying work.
Yeah.
When you enjoy work, guess what? You're better. And guess what? When you're better, you're seen as a rising star. Guess what? You get a better job. Guess what? You get more money.
Yeah.
It's just
and it comes.
It all comes.
It comes.
Go to work when you're glum and sick, and you hit your boss.
But your dad had to do that. Your dad had to do that. That generation. They had to get a job.
They had to get a job.
It was your penalty for being a human.
That's right. Yeah. You had to. Yeah.
It doesn't matter if you hate it. Go home. You got to kick the dog when you get home because you hate your job. You hate every morning, and they were stuck. Now you can bounce and you can do, to an extent, whatever you want.
Yeah, and the world's a bigger place.
Yeah.
Don't be afraid just to hop on a plane. To look for jobs abroad. Work experience. Put yourself about, and I say honestly, if you work hard, people see.
Yeah.
People see, and you get picked out.
I agree. So you've said work experience there. I want to get on that.
Yeah.
Because that's important.
There is the old adage, mind you. If you don't ask, you don't get.
Yeah.
So
true.
what I would say is be cheeky.
Yeah.
And ask for something.
Yeah.
Ask.
That's it. Be cheeky on balance,
cheeky.
but be a
so
bit cheeky.
So you've got two hard workers, which one's going to go further?
Yeah.
Actually, the one who go just a little cheeky. Actually, I was thinking, Mr. Boss, can I?
Yeah, back yourself. I want to do that.
Can I possibly have this training, or I'm interested in this job come up internally. I want to be applied for it.
Yeah. And in a lot of businesses like this,
and it would sway. Yeah.
While this is a huge business,
yeah, it's huge.
It's still like it's an independent Teesside business, if you like, in that kind of structure. It's not a GSK. It's not Warburton's. In a massive structure. It's all in here.
Yeah.
And most businesses in Teesside, most businesses in the northeast of England that are run like this by people like you will support the staff in getting them better.
Yeah, we spend an inordinate amount of money on training.
Yeah.
If anybody came to me for any training, they could have the training.
Yeah.
Same as first aid equipment, safety equipment. It's just that's just.
Yeah. Well, you've ordered boots for us before, for groups that we've bought. You've got boots especially.
Yeah.
So
it's so important.
Totally. A work experience I want to touch on quickly because there's a couple of things I want to ask you. I know you've got something else this afternoon, so I want to be quick. Work experience is, well, I'm not even going to say what I think it is. I want you to tell me what you think it is. If someone comes here, having done some work experience in their free time and they apply for a job here, what's their chances of getting the job? Or do they have?
Well, first of all, what I would say is, so if I'm 57, right, and I remember being 14, which is a long time ago. right? But I remember going to my one and only work experience situation one day, and it was at Lackenby Steam Mill, beam mill, yeah, and watching beams rolling out of an iron ore ingot.
I remember this story now.
Fantastic heat coming past
That's it.
this thing, rolling past the noise and all that type of stuff. I never forgot that. And you know, and it's really important to get out and for kids to get out and do work experience, because they see real life going on. Whereas at school, you know, it's all in a very sort of sterile environment, you know, and they might get a bit of a shock actually when you go into a workplace. Think, oh my God, there's noise, and there's dirt, and there's dust, and or it could be an office of accountants where there's no noise at all. They're all sat there just typing away and don't speak. You know, there's so many variations, and it's your personality that sits in that whole thing. So it's really important to try and get some work experience, and it's really important. So we do a lot of, as you know, visits for school kids to come here, and sometimes we can't get the teachers are not interested because it's not in the curriculum. You know, so you know, it's just, but hey,
That's a problem.
It's more valuable than anything else.
Dead right. And I think just in terms of them getting an interview, if you're looking at two CVs, it's very similar. That it's very often that kids will come out of school at 16 or 18 and look the same. They've done the same exams. They probably have roughly the same results. The CVs look the same.
All look the same. They've all been the same thing. They've all been taught how to do the CV, so they all look the same.
It's about setting themselves apart.
So if I'm an employer looking at a CV, I'm looking for something different.
Yeah.
So I'm seeing a CV from a young boy or girl, and they've done the Duke of Edinburgh Award.
That's it.
They've been helping the elderly on a weekend. They've been posting, you know, or doing a book club, or you know, doing some entrepreneurial thing. You know, you know, all of that is different. You think, oh, this is different. And it makes you stop and think, and you think, I'll just put that one on one side.
You might want to learn more about them.
Learn more about them.
But they're people you can invest in.
Because they're doing something for somebody else.
Yeah.
You know, because I look at this, you know, in life I look at people, and I just see them as two different types of people. There's givers and takers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree.
So it's givers and takers. People who take all day long. That's all right. That's their default position.
Yeah.
And there's takers who want to help and give and be generous and do everything else.
Yeah.
You know, and I'm one of them. Now
Definitely.
I can work with takers.
Yeah.
And I can spot a giver and a taker within seconds.
Immediately,
Within seconds. And the thing is, you know, when you go through life and you're giving, it's amazing how much comes back.
Yes.
Just you're not doing it for that.
Yes.
But it's just amazing how many times it comes back to you.
Yeah.
It's just
And not giving for trying to get things back.
No.
You're actually giving just because you want to give.
Because you want to give.
That's it. And you can't fake it.
You can't fake it. When you're giving something, you're literally handing something across. Whether it's, you know, helping or giving or what, you know, it's, you know,
That's
it just, yeah, it gives you a buzz, and I don't know, but I think the takers are missing out.
I
To be
agree.
honest. Well, see, their buzz is getting for something for nothing.
Yeah. Get for something for free.
For nothing.
That's it.
Yeah.
That's it.
Do now, get something for free.
I'm going to wrap up because you've got something to do. I know I'll have to go soon. My lift's probably already here. There's two questions at the end I like to ask.
Okay.
The first one, we do these 3 lists with the groups every year. One of those lists that we get them right is what do you want out of life? Is it travel? Is it a wife? Is it 3 kids? Is it a husband? Is it a swimming pool in your back garden? Is it a helicopter? You know, do you want to go to a specific country or, you know, whatever? What is it for you right now that you want? This is the most challenging because it's easy for me to say to you, well, what would that list have been when you were 16? But that list's very similar.
Yeah, it's like
I want to show how it changes.
It's like now. So, you know, people say to me, "What do you buy somebody that's got everything?"
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And what I'd say is, you can't buy health.
No.
You can't buy health, and fitness, and you know, you don't know how long you got on this life. So my view is to enjoy every day that comes.
Yeah.
That's what I'd say.
That's your answer.
That's my answer.
Whether that's with your family, whether it's here in the
Family,
day-to-day that you do,
family, work,
friends,
enjoy friends, enjoy family, enjoy going out,
Yeah.
playing golf.
every aspect of every
Every
day.
aspect, you know, going on holiday, you know, just helping people.
If I'd have asked you at 16, it would have been
16,
More
been,
booze.
been probably, yeah.
unlimited beer.
Unlimited beer. Yeah, I don't know. Going out with lots of girls, having a Lamborghini,
Yeah,
want to be a pilot. So I don't know, whatever it is.
it's fine.
But as you get older, it's about literally enjoying life on a daily basis. You
Yeah,
know?
and the two things I want to say about that for anyone that's watching is, it's fine that all those things change as your life moves on, but I think you always have to be aiming for something. If you're getting up on a morning,
Yeah.
over 6 weeks, 6 months, 6 years,
Yeah.
and you actually aren't aiming towards anything,
Yes.
you
Yeah.
you won't go anywhere.
Don't get me wrong. Some people have no aspirations about themselves or about what they can do or anything else. And I would say, but if you're happy, that's fine.
Yeah.
If you you know, I see people who are, you know, competitive and they want to get on, they want to bust records and do all sorts of stuff.
Yeah.
You know, and I see others just want to just go through life like plodding along, and that
And that can
if
change.
they're happy with that, there's nothing wrong with that. Nothing
Yeah.
at all.
Like
That's absolutely fine.
we met as I was really getting sick of the chase and corporate culture
Yes,
and
yes,
that kind of thing, and I'd lived my life from 17 until 25 chasing wealth at any cost, fancy, flash. You know, I didn't want to give back to anybody.
Yeah.
You know, and I did. I just didn't have time because I was too busy doing what I was doing,
Yeah.
and it was wrong, and it always felt wrong, but it felt like it's what I should have been doing.
Right.
And then when I realised, actually, I'm not very happy doing this.
Yeah.
I want to be doing things at my own pace. It's not about how much money I can stack up at any cost. I want to be doing something I enjoy doing and making money doing that.
Yeah.
And I'd already started the charity by then. I'd started that a few years before we met, I guess, 2 years or 3 years.
Which was amazing at your age, by the way.
At 22, yeah.
Amazing.
Thanks, I appreciate it.
Yeah.
But similar to you, you'll have been mature beyond your years.
Yeah, I think
When you were 22.
Yeah, when I was 22, yeah.
And I think I probably was. So I appreciate what you're saying, and it's love that you have that kind of
Yeah,
compliment
it's
from you.
brilliant.
But I felt like I was 30 then. You know, I've just turned 28.
Yeah, the thing is, you see, when I was 18, but I was probably 18 in body and everything else, but
Yeah.
I was probably 28 or 38
Yeah.
in
I feel the same.
my thought process and everything else.
Yeah.
Now I'm 57,
Yeah.
I'm 18 again.
Yeah.
Well, I was in my head-
Okay,
my head.
yeah.
I'd like to think I was.
Yeah.
But it's just that's the way it is, isn't it?
That's
I
it.
guess, yeah.
That's it. So thanks, I appreciate it, and that's what I want to be doing. That's my default. I want to be doing this for free. I want to be giving away. I don't want to make money doing this. I want to be happy with what I'm doing. I want to enjoy my life, and then I want to be able to make a living at the same time. And if that becomes a big standard of living, doing something I love, great. But if it doesn't, it's fine as well.
Yeah.
I think that's the difference. And being happy, there's nothing worse than getting up and hating your job.
Well,
There is nothing worse.
There's nothing worse, and I would say if everybody should aspire to get a job where they enjoy going to work.
Yeah.
And being happy, and everybody thinks that money makes a difference. I'll tell you what money does. One thing.
Yeah.
Gives you a choice.
Yeah.
That's it. Gives you a choice. So you got
Okay.
money, you have a choice to do something.
Yeah.
You can't buy love. You can't buy your health.
Yeah.
You know.
Family.
But family. Go buy a car.
Yeah.
Buy a house and everything. But there's a big house, make you happy. Not if you haven't got somebody to share it with. And you know what I mean? So money gives you a choice. It's not all about money. It's about
It's weird.
happiness.
Jim Carrey said something like that, you know. He said,
Did he?
I think it was something like, my wish is that everyone gets rich and famous so that they can say that it makes no difference.
Makes
or
no difference.
Something like that.
Yeah. Perfect.
Yeah.
That's right. Spot on.
I quite liked that
Yeah.
when I read it, and you just
Yeah.
reminded me of it there. So that's good. And at the same time as being able to change that as they're going along like I've done, you can change the things that you're aspiring towards. I think it's important to have something. I know you're saying some people don't have aspiration, but there will be something that just might be very, very small goals.
So, sometimes
Their aspiration might be to buy a bought 2 bottles of wine with their shopping instead of one
Yeah.
this week. Like,
Yeah.
It might be so micro that, you know, it maybe doesn't even register as an aspiration for anybody. But having one allows your actions will map. I remember when I got my first car. The first car I really wanted was an Audi A5 that came out the year I started work. I said to my dad, I'm getting one of them.
Yeah.
My dad laughed at me. He said, you'll never afford one of them until they're old and knackered. And I got one within a year.
Yeah. Good
But
luck.
my actions mapped because I went to bed dreaming about it, thinking about it. I could taste it. I knew exactly how I wanted it. And I just worked. And I'd take any opportunity, anything I could do, anything, job needed doing, I'll do it.
Yeah.
You go and see a client, I'll do it.
Yeah.
And I wanted it.
And the thing is though that some people they can't see that, and it's like strategy in business. So businesses, some companies grow, some companies never grow. The one man business might start as one and end as one, and that's only because there's possibly, well, there could be a few things, you know, but strategies are really important. You've got, so your strategy there was, I want that car. How can I get it?
How am I going to get there?
Right. So businesses, I want to grow a business. How can I grow it? But other people just say, well, I know, I'm a plumber. You know, I'm on my own. Bloody apprentice is a nightmare. Yeah. You know, I'm gonna stick my van, me in the van. That's you know, and I'm happy. That's fine. But you know, for an aspirations, and that, happy. But some people's aspirations, and sometimes that when they get older in life as well. So I've met people that that haven't been that good at school. Now it might have been like me. I wasn't that brilliant. I mean, I just want to play football, chase girls around the schoolyards, you know.
Same.
But when I started work, you know, I became better. You know, it wasn't that I wasn't, you know, clever enough.
Yeah.
I just want to do something
You just
different.
didn't want to apply it.
Yeah, just want to apply it. Yeah.
Same as me.
Yeah.
Exactly the
You
same.
get older. I mean, I think, you know, talk about men and women. I think women mature earlier than men.
Yeah.
Mentally.
I agree with that.
And I think as you know, men, you know, as they, so you get guys who are 16, go to school, they still want to play.
Yeah.
You know, still want to play. You know, still pups, aren't we?
That's
you know,
it.
But they get to 21, 22, 23 and think, oh, hang on a minute, what time to start knuckling down.
And they might not even be mature by that age.
No, but you know, but then you know they can change. The whole profile can change.
That's it. I think that's important. You mentioned GCSE or grades. Did you do GCSEs or CSEs or
GCSEs?
And I'm not going to ask you because it's exam season right now.
Right. Okay.
And this is really sad, but YouTube, you can see the keywords that people have used to find your videos.
Okay.
Last 28 days, the only keywords that have found our videos on YouTube. This makes me really sad. Exam stress. What happens if I fail my exams?
Okay. Right.
And and so I don't want to talk about results. I don't want to talk about your results, which I usually do.
Go on, let you finish.
I don't know where I was going to go. Well, I do. What I want you to do is
I can say
talk about it in round without talking about how you were as a student.
Okay. Shall I look in the mirror?
You can if you want. I don't want to add to the pressure.
Okay. So no, it's really quite simple. This is really important actually. So when I was at school, I was good in the classroom, good at, you know, producing the work, but when I got to exams, panicked, didn't like it. Just to get into the thing, I wasn't structured, so I would get there, I would spend too long on the first question, and then all of a sudden there was another 10 questions to go, and I'm panicking like hell. So I got in a right whole fluster, and so my results didn't reflect anything like what my coursework was like. I then thought that many years later the education system changed, and you then got marked on your coursework, which for me was brilliant. And if it had been for me, I'd have probably got some really good grades.
Really?
Yeah, because I think on your coursework, as of late, you could have got something like 70% of your marks.
Right.
On your coursework, whereas if you got the exam, is a 30% sort of scenario.
Yeah, there's a lot of exam technique required.
Yeah. So, but now I think they've changed it back again. I think this year, unfortunately they've gone back to the I would say the archaic way.
How you can do it on the day.
Well, because it's all about the day. So my best friend, bless him, he's not with us anymore. He's passed on. He and I used to go and play football the night before we were doing our exam. And the reason why we did that was that's what I wanted to do. Difference was he had a better memory than me. He could go in and get 100% on his maths, and I'd be struggling, and that was shown in the results. So my maths was horrendous, right? Horrendous, honestly. But when it came down to it, it was the power of his memory, what he could remember. In the coursework during the week, there wouldn't be a massive amount of difference,
No.
but on the day, that was the difference,
Yeah.
and that's wrong. That's wrong.
I agree. Because maybe he wouldn't have thrived in this business as an employee or as a partner or co-director or whatever.
Well, the thing was,
in the same way.
thing was, right. So we both. So I left at 16, got an apprenticeship. At 17, I had a car. And at 21, I was married. I had a mortgage and 2 cars. At 21, he was still at university. I hadn't earned a penny. I think he came at university at 23, isn't it?
I think so. Yeah, this sounds very similar to a story I've
right,
told.
So he's left university at 23. He hasn't earned a penny yet. His first job was as a concrete inspector, plunging about in a pair of wellies. And this bloke had got 3 maths degrees when he finished.
Right. Okay.
I mean, the end result was he did really well. He ended up going to Australia and he worked for a bank, and he was just fantastic at the maths.
Right.
But there is 2 routes. There's 2 routes. You don't have to be, brilliant at school to achieve. That's the key.
Yeah.
Just work hard.
Yeah.
Work hard and apply yourself and enjoy what you're doing.
And if it doesn't work out in your exams, there's a video. It'll be going up.
Yeah.
It'll be going up on I think it's the 28th of July this year. GCSE exam results day. It's last year's video, which I'm going to repost for like a week straight, about how GCSE's results don't matter, and that's context. If you're watching this, don't think they don't matter. It's easier if you get them to go on and do your next thing. But if education isn't for you, it's not the end of the world, provided that you're self-aware enough to accept that you have to start at the bottom and take every opportunity.
Yeah.
And then you can go anywhere, like you did and like I did.
Yep.
We didn't get great results. I don't want to talk about them because I don't want to add to the pressure now at this time of year. But your teachers told you the same thing as my teachers told me. You're going nowhere.
Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I was.
And look at it now.
I was middle of the class.
Yeah. Okay.
I would say middle of the class, and I knew. See, the guys at the top end of the class, they all went to college, and I didn't. And but I knew I wasn't going to college. I knew I wasn't good enough because I'm not. I'm a what's the word?
Don't know where you're going.
Academic. Sorry about that.
Got it.
Academic. I'm not an academic.
It's gone.
I'm not.
Not an
academic.
academic.
I'm not. No. And but you are where you are.
But you're not stupid. That's the difference.
No, I'm not stupid. No, and most people aren't stupid.
No.
And you can only do what you can do.
That's it. And as long as you're doing your best, you'll get recognised.
Be the best you can be. That's the thing.
That's it. I think we're going to have to round up about now, but there's 2 more things. 1, thank you very much. I really appreciate you coming on. Secondly, I'm upset that you've managed to get all the way through and didn't swear, because I really expected that to come out, but it didn't. So fair enough, well done. And like I said right just before we started filming, if you can do 1 straight down the camera, which you've already done, you kind of circumvented it. If you give 1 sentence of advice to any 13 to 25-year-old job seeker, I know that sounds tough. I know it's very broad.
Yeah.
But this is about the fundamentals.
Okay.
What's the bit of advice that you would give a 13 to 25-year-old job seeker if they walked straight in this door now and said, "How do I get a job here?" What do they have to go and do?
Be honest and be the best you can be.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Thank you, man. I appreciate it.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.